வாழ்வே என் சத்குருவே. கண்ணே கருத்தே கருத்திலுறும் நற்கனியே.
Well, now with a big Adiyogi face and many things I have done, people think I am a devotee of Shiva. I am not a devotee of Shiva. I am not a Shiva Bhakt. He kind of forcefully invaded my life. At the age of 25, when an overwhelming experience happened to me on the Chamundi hill, after that, in the next 2 months, I noticed that a certain sound was coming out of me often. Initially, I thought for some reason my breath is rasping. Even now, in United States, when I'm initiating people, when I say Shambho, I don't say it like this, when I say shh, people say, Sadhguru, when you whistle, our energies go crazy. Why are you whistling like that? I said, it's not a whistle, I'm saying shh. So this sound started happening from within me like a rasp. I did not know what it is. All my life I had never uttered such words. I grew up as a confirmed atheist, very involved in the left movements of those days. This sound just coming out of me like this, I thought my breath, something crazy going on. But after some time it started coming out more distinctly. So it's not by choice I started saying these things and doing what I'm doing. I'm just a slave And initially I fought. Then I knew this is like you versus cosmos game. I'm smart enough to understand it's not worth fighting. So I became his party.
That is actually a propaganda technique to get someone to accept what you're saying even though it's going to appear outrageous to them. The mere fact that you're acknowledging that this claim seems outrageous or extraordinary at its face seems to, and yet should not, make it more credible. Because when they say, I want to tell you something and you're not going to believe this, but it definitely happened, you're more likely to believe them unless you have some compelling evidence that this person isn't truthful, or that this person is gullible, or that the sort of thing that they're talking about just is so outlandish. Like, it's that every claim, when it is initially uttered, when it is initially evaluated, is weighed against the bulk of reality. And when we talk about extraordinary claims, those are claims that seem to be in opposition to the evidence of reality.
Many thousand years ago, there was a yogi whose name was Sunira. We believe Sunira was just the next generation after the Saptarishis. He lived and worked in the mountains which are presently in Nepal. He took on an impossible project. He was an incredible guru, but he was not happy with himself. He wanted to create that kind of a being who is absolutely perfect and always. Synthetic stuff is not of 20th or 21st centuries making, way back. He wanted to create a synthetic being, a perfect being, who will become a perfect teacher, who will become the ultimate redeemer of humanity. An impossible project. But this is a man of incredible capability, so he took on such a project. And he started putting together a being of every kind of quality that you can think of. This longing must have come because this is just after Shiva, the Adiyogi, left. They must have been missing him. They must have been missing him so badly that the longing to create a perfect being must have been a natural longing and maybe a natural project to take up. He worked through his lifetime to create this. And towards the end of his life, when this dream of creating a perfect being remained unfulfilled, Yogi Sunira made a prophecy that long time from now, long time from now, this work that I have started will find fulfillment and reverberate, not here, but in the green hills of the south. Our hills are green. We are in the south. Another set of yogis who are aware of this Sunira's glorious but quite impossible project, and with their wisdom they started working upon a similar force to create a similar possibility, but with a completely different understanding of the same. The fruition of that parallel line of creating a perfect being, but not as a human being, is the making of the Dhyanalinga. Dhyanalinga has all the necessary ingredients. It has the energy body of a perfect being. In theory, we can give him a physical body. In theory, it is possible we can add flesh and blood to him and make him stand up and walk. But if he does that, he will no more be a perfect being, because then he'll have to eat, then he will have to excrete, then he will have to sleep, then he will have to wake up and rub his eyes in the morning. And people will find fault with him. You said you're perfect, but you're eating. You said you're perfect, you're sitting. You said you're perfect, you're standing. You said you're perfect, you're sleeping. So, it is best he remains that way.
When we say extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, all we mean, take the word apart, extraordinary. The claim is something that is addressing something beyond the ordinary, something beyond the mundane, something beyond what we already know, understand, and accept about reality. When you say Jesus rose from the dead, that is a claim that is outside the bounds of the ordinary. We don't have a stockpile of evidence of people rising from the dead. As a matter of fact, all of the evidence that we have is that people don't rise from the dead. Somebody says, "Hi, I was abducted by aliens last night." That's a claim that doesn't map to the ordinary of reality. It needs some more evidence than merely saying so. The same thing is true for I'm getting messages from a god, I'm getting messages from aliens. I am the special, saved, anointed child of some sort of God figure. None of those things are parts of reality. Once you've smuggled in magic and the supernatural because you trust these sources who are coming to you, you're taking what we know about reality and you are adding things that we don't know. And you keep adding those things that we don't know until your model of reality necessarily has to include all manner of supernatural things. You have basically trained yourself to be more gullible, because what a claim that should be viewed as extraordinary, as in here's a claim that goes beyond our ordinary world, is now viewed as ordinary to you. Ordinary with a bit of special pleading, you don't think just anybody can, run around healing the sick or walking on water, despite the fact that I've seen magicians do it. Instead, you've now set up this special subcategory. Here's the ordinary world, and then here's the realm of what a god can do. You've defined that as part of the ordinary world, and therefore you don't think that it requires any extra evidence. When we say extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, all we're doing is saying that the specifics of this claim don't mesh with our current understanding of reality. And if it turns out to be true, it will fundamentally change what we understand about reality. But in many cases, the advocates for the supernatural or for theism don't want to have to face that. They want to think that they have an accurate model of what is an ordinary world, and their ordinary world includes magic, preferably only from just this one being that they like, and the other entities that are sanctioned by that being. But it includes magic. It includes, hey, I don't know how this could work. I don't even know if this could work, but I'm going to assume it can work and that it's God doing it.